And welcome, oh god, the game. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another lovely week of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle number 3. Of course, your host, LatVip, and with me, I'm joined by my lovely and beautiful plushies this morning. But it's been a while. It's been a while since we have casted this tournament live. If you do recall, the last time we broadcasted this, it was via replays. We were unable to cast it live because I just didn't have any internet. Didn't have any internet. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But we are back here with another week of this lovely bi-weekly tournament. For those wondering, for those who have not tuned in to this tournament before, this. As I just quickly make the lobby for the players. Un momento, papi. But yeah, for those wondering, this is a tournament that is region locked to the regions of the Americas and Asia. So North America, Latin America, Southeast Asia, Oceania, for example. So yeah, because of this, you know, we're going to be supporting some of the smaller regions, but still some high quality players. It's going to be amazing. It is going to be beautiful, and we are jumping on into game number 1 of our first series. You can see it here before you. It's going to be GogojOey versus LeoRusher. Let's go. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We have plenty of amazing players. I was so tempted. I really wanted to jump into Skylar versus Reaper. It's been so many months, arguably years, since I've casted Skylar. I love him so much, but they started without us. So we have a very different series here before you instead. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the best player in all of Singapore, representing Unidos por el Vicio. It is LeoRusher. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the best player in all of Hong Kong, the red Zerg player, representing the Juggernauts. It is GogojOey. Let's go. So yeah, it's great to see this tournament gaining a little bit of traction here. Again, if you do look at the brackets, we have quite a number of players available. We have, to name a couple, other than, of course, our 2 players here, we have Reaper, we have Skylar, Hung, Mono, Ranger, Trigger, and of course, the man of the hour himself, Eric. Some of the best from Latin America, North America, Southeast Asia, and Oceania have converged here before us. And yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting all things around. I'm pretty happy with the overall quality of the players. Not the largest amount of signups, but again, this is still only the 3rd iteration of this tournament. Hopefully, we can be consistent with this event and help you know, let the players know about what's going on. Of course, last week's finalist was Trigger versus Vindicta. Last edition's finalist was Trigger versus Vindicta, but Vindicta is streaming at the moment. I think he's laddering at the moment, and he will not be able to reprise his role here in the finals. Likewise, the week before that, it was Eric versus Trigger, where Trigger came 2nd. So Trigger has made it back-to-back here into the finals, 2 editions in a row. Can he go for a 3rd? I mean, he's going to be the favorite, definitely coming into this. But this is the debut of both Joey and LeoRusher in the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. It's the first time that they're tussling it out tenaciously with turtles. So I'm excited to bear witness here. You know, both these players are amazing in their own right. We see them all the time in GPO, but now it's time to see them early in the morning instead, as boy, it is 9 AM here in Australia, and I think it's a little bit earlier in the day as well over in the land of Hong Kong. Oh boy, so best of luck to them. Best of luck. That's all the time being. We have Hatchcast pool openers. Everything's looking quite normal and quite standard.
Paused.
Quite normal and quite standard, as it looks like we have a little bit of a pause, so hopefully everything is okay. Looks like a couple of settings are a little bit messed up, but we haven't really gone into too much here, so it's, you know, thankfully there's no action going on right now. We're not kind of interrupting anything, thankfully. And I hope everyone is enjoying themselves and having a good time. Again, we finished casting WTL 7 hours ago. Actually, around 7 hours ago. Now we're awake. We're ready to cast some more StarCraft. Let's go, let's go. The biggest difference about this weekend is, for those who maybe don't remember, ESL Open Cup Asia was moved from Sundays to Mondays. So we actually don't have back-to-back broadcasts anymore, which means, as I change my background, which means we can sleep. it's gonna be amazing. It is going to be beautiful. Oh, let's go, Bobby. Let's go. As we're jumping back into this game. And again, so far we do have a pretty standard opener from LeoRusher. He's going to be going for a Stargate opener back at home. Meanwhile, from the side of GogojOey, has just been saturating his bases, taking his third base on location as well. Nothing too crazy to speak of. The Adept is going to be trying to hunker down in between these bases, wedge itself in between the third base and the natural, try to catch some transferring workers, but GogojOey is safe and sound. He is keeping everything in his main and at his third. The Adept isn't really finding too much damage. Not yet, anyway, not yet. Meanwhile, interesting choice here by LeoRusher. He does go for a Stalker as a follow-up unit here, and this will be enough to show away the Overlord. This will be keeping GogojOey back at home and in the dark, as we have a second Overlord dipping in. GogojOey taking this very seriously. Two Overlords out here, one at the natural, one in the main base. Does confirm the Stargate opener, does spot that Oracle as it does move out across the map. And now GogojOey can prepare back at home. We have two Queens in the main. We're about to have two Queens. And we have two Queens here at the third base as well. So, again, we are quite safe and sound. No Oracles to speak of yet, but two Queens are enough to deal with one Oracle. Speaking of, that first Oracle is staying at home instead. LeoRusher is more concerned with expanding and taking his natural than he is with doing anything across the map. And there we go. The third base is getting set up here for LeoRusher. As now we have those two Oracles, we have that one-shot potential. LeoRusher can rush across the map and look to find some economic damage. But by this point, the spores are on the way. Looks like one of them's already done here at the third base as well. So these Oracles have been having some hard time finding some damage, but they're going to be looking for it. But again, the Queens are in position here at the natural base. They move on forward in the main as well. Oh, we get one drone, but only a singular drone. And yeah, this is just some really standard play out of LeoRusher. It's kind of what we expect to be seeing. Despite his name and despite his reputation, LeoRusher in years past used to be a very cheesy player. He used to go for all-ins game after game after game. I remember casting him back in the day. I remember casting him in ANZ Champs before it was region locked, when it was open to Oceania and Southeast Asia. And I remember casting LeoRusher with Pig and just watching him proxy 4-gate. Just proxy 4-gate game after game. It's quite something. It's definitely quite something here from our Singaporean Protoss. But that was what, 2019, 2018? It's been years since then. Actually, many years. And now he's more of a macro player. He's reformed from what he once was. The cheese has gone, and now he's all about that macro, and he's pretty damn good at it. Over the past week, if you recall, in the last Grand Platypus Open, we casted him versus Demi, and he actually was able to bring down Demi as well multiple times over the course of the ESL Masters qualifiers and in GPO as well. It was really impressive to see, like, LeoRusher going for this more defensive style, going to double Robo Colossi was enough to overwhelm and overpower Demi. We'll see if he can do the same to another one of the Zergmuta Triangle. Exclamation mark Zergmuta Triangle in the chat. Let's go, as of course we have gone into our blink and +1 as to be expected, but this was all of a really low gateway count. We have been staying back at home. We haven't really been warping in too much either. LeoRusher has been as efficient as possible with his build and should be going into a bay and a second robo shortly as well. As I say that, there we go, there's the bay and there's the second robo. So this is kind of like a trendy build that has been kind of rising in popularity over the past couple of weeks or over the past couple of months in PvZ, and this is just a very macro-oriented way of following up the Stargate opener with +1 and Blink. You're not active with your Blink Stalkers, you're not warping in, you're not being aggressive, you just stay back at home, hyper defensive, you delay warp-ins, and you tech up hard. That's why we have that double robe on the way. That will be for double Colossi. That shuts down any kind of Ling Bane play. Oof. Not just Ling Bane, it shuts down Ling Bane Hydra. And that's exactly what GogojOey is going for. I'm a little bit concerned for his life because Ling Bane Hydra, he's going to be looking to hit soon. GogojOey has droned up to 73 and he is done droning, but can he crack the defenses? Oh my god, the Banelings do crash into the third base already. LeoRusher, like ourselves, we were not looking, we were not paying attention at that third. And now LeoRusher is moving out, but those Colossi are still on the way without them. Does he have enough pushing power? That's the question. He's going to be throwing down one stasis trap behind this. But he's pushing deep onto creep. And the Lings, they're coming first round. Up. Oh, we do blink back, but half of the Stalkers do get caught out here. We even have the stasis trap going off, but really not getting the connections that we need. And GogojOey shuts this down. Again, LeoRusher with an anti-timing. Just needs to wait a little bit longer here for his Colossi. But he was feeling pressure to move out because of that Bane run by, and he got baited into a bad fight. Looking at the units lost tab, 9 Stalkers went down. That is a lot of Stalkers. It may not sound like a lot, but these Stalkers, they need to build up over time. You know, that's why LeoRusher, his supply is now in the dumps. We have 2 more Colossi on the way. We're going to be moving out with the first, and we're going to be trying to establish this forward base. Oh my god. A bold move here, but this will be a great launch pad, especially if we do get our shield batteries up and running. Shield batteries, Colossi, there are those stasis traps just outside the lovely turn. Beautiful. As GogojOey is going to be going for a bit of a run by. The wall's not a wall! No! The wall is not a wall. The Colossi gets exposed as well, and it will go down to the Ling run by. These +1 Lings annihilate it. Very unfortunate turn of events here for LeoRusher. Now he's down to only 3 of those Colossi, and those Lings, they want some more damage. No! It's not a wall. Not again, puppy. Not again. The Lings, they flood into the main base and the natural as well. LeoRusher, at the same time, his 4th base is exposed. GogojOey is all over him. He's pulling him apart. Oof. And that is a kill, not a cancel on the 4th base. And this is forcing LeoRusher all in. He's losing so many workers left and right. Goes for the recall as well. A bit of a wasted recall, as I don't think he really quite needed it. Meanwhile, that Colossi, okay, thankfully we do pull it back in time. The Hydras are pushing on forward here. Nice control of Micro here with the Colossi so far, keeping it alive, but the Hydras are going for the Stalkers. They're going for everything else. And they get the Prism. The Prism goes down. We're going to be overextending a little bit here. GogojOey is bleeding out a lot of these Hydras. They are expensive units. We have a Lurker dead on the way, but it's not going to be done in time. LeoRusher should be going for a counterattack. He should be going all in. LeoRusher is down to 45 probes. Oh. And he has a pretty powerful army. He's up to 4 Colossi, and GogojOey's in a lot of trouble right now. We blink on forward. Queens are falling, Hydras as well. And with the power of 4 Colossi, nothing can stand in its way. Nothing that's light, at least. No Lings, no Banelings, no Hydras either. We need Lurkers now more than ever. But the Lurker den is still not done. Hydras are trying to hold on here. LeoRusher not feeling too confident. He does pull back. He's running out of his buffer. Doesn't have too many Stalkers remaining. And here we go. The Hydras are coming in from behind. Once again, another surround is being set up here. So many of these Stalkers are going to be going down. The Hydras, sorry, the Colossi are doing a lot of damage though. And they will clean up the Hydras. Every single one. Oh god. 3 of them escape, but the Lurkers have arrived. And this changes everything. In the midst of this push, in the midst of this chaos, GogojOey was able to squeeze out 4 Lurkers, and that is going to just be enough here to hold on. LeoRusher has been trading well. He's been killing so many units. Looking at the units lost tab, he got 42 Hydras. But he can't push into Lurkers, and the wall is never a wall. Not like this, puppy, not like this. Also, these 4 Lurkers are looking exposed. We have detection available. Lings are flooding on in. We are forced to warp in back at home. Oh god, the Observer does survive. And with the power of the Observer, we can get on top of these Lurkers. There we go. We blink on forward. 1, 2 Lurkers go down. We have some Vipers coming up, but it's a little bit too late. These Lings were maybe needed back at home. We needed something to protect the Lurkers. And it looks like LeoRusher, He's breaking through, but he's also losing so much back at home. GogojOey trying to muster a defense. He has those Vipers gathering energy. They do have Abducts. GogojOey can hold. Let's go. Up. We get one. We get two of those Colossi. They're going to be going down immediately. And GogojOey is just barely holding on. GG gets called. And GogojOey takes game one. Let's say LeoRusher taps out. GG, well played. LeoRusher trading so well, but because of the constant Ling run-bys, he was all in. If it wasn't for that, I kind of would have favored LeoRusher, to be honest. But the Ling run-bys, the Ling counterattacks were doing so much. Un momento. But yeah, they were doing so much here for GogojOey. The Ling run-bys are really the MVPs there for that game. Oh. They forced LeoRusher's hand in the end, and yeah, GogojOey was able to just barely muster a defense. You could argue that maybe LeoRusher should have forced his way into the natural, but the reality is that because he didn't have a prism, he couldn't reinforce. He couldn't keep warping in across the map. He couldn't really bolster his army and bolster his forces. Ooh, and eventually he ran out of steam. Okay. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Grass Farm, we have the Singaporean Protoss player, the best player in all of the land of Singapore, representing Unidos por el Vicio. It is LeoRusher. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Grass Farm, we have as opponent, we have the best player in all of Hong Kong, the red Zerg player representing the Juggernauts. It is GogojOey. Let's see the chat. Leo Macro, Papi. Let's go. But yeah, sorry, it's Zerg Muta in the chat. Zerg Muta. One of our old memes that, that Steel Mode did put a lot of time into. Meanwhile, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was a 12 pool opener. My god, so GogojOey going to be very aggressive here. We have 6 Lings on the way. We have a Queen on the way as well. Going to be delaying our natural base for quite some time here as LeoRusher opened up with a double gateway. Okay, so we have a 2-gate opener going up against a 12 pool. We have a pylon as well just to delay the natural base. This will be delaying the Lings as well as they're forced to deal with this pylon. But GogojOey is still making more Lings behind this. Ooh, and that was a kill, not a cancel on that pylon. As the Lings are going to be flooding across the map. Meanwhile, LeoRusher is going to be setting up that wall. With the 2-gate opener, he will have access to additional Zealots far faster than normal. And yeah, GogojOey is going to have a hard time finding damage here. He may be able to pick away at a gateway, though. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. The Lings have arrived, and they're going to be chipping away at the gateway. Zealot and a couple of boys have been pulled with these probes. We should be able to avoid the surround, and we do get back here in time. Zealot is safe. The boys keep him safe. Gotta be careful. As GogojOey is going to be threatening that entryway into the natural, but it looks like he will be forced to back off. LeoRusher has successfully defended. Unfortunately, his Nexus is delayed, but because of his opener, he is going to have the ability to counterattack with 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts, which can be quite devastating. Back at home, GogojOey is still taking his natural base, still taking his gases as well. Is quite delayed. And interesting choice here. So typically we move out with both the Zealots and the Adepts, but LeoRusher is only going to be moving out with his 2 Zealots for the time being. Okay, there we go. Looks like the Adepts were kept at home just in case the Lings tried to go for a counterattack. The Adepts will soon be joining with the Zealots, and this is going to be forcing a pretty big reaction. We need both of our Queens on the front lines. We need our Lings as well, and even then, this can get a little bit scary. Good, the Adepts and Zealots have arrived. They're going to be laying siege upon the third base. GogojOey coming on forward here with his Queens. The Lings are trying to chase that shade. And we may even force a cancel here on the hatchery. Uh-oh. It's going to be close. The Lings are going to try and dance here with the army. The Queens are dishing out a lot of DPS on those Zealots. Oh, almost getting one. It looks like this should be enough to chase away the army. Oh, I expect it soon. We dive on top of the Queen, and it's stuck. The first Queen is going to be going down. Arguably worth it here for LeoRusher, trading 2 Zealots for a Queen. Meanwhile, behind this, we don't have a Stargate opener. We have a Twilight Council follow-up instead. We're going to be making use of these additional gateways. And GogojOey needs to figure out what's going on. Oh, he's looking to dip into the main. And it looks like he should be able to get eyes on both the Twilight Council and the Robo, but that's a lot of gateways. We have 2 gateways in the natural, and we have 3 gateways in the main. 5 in total so far. We should be seeing a 6. Regardless, it's going to be very committed from LeoRusher, and GogojOey sees everything. He sees every single gateway in the main base. He also sees the gateways at the natural. He knows how committed LeoRusher is going to be, and a Roach Warren is thrown down. We already have Lings in production. GogojOey is cutting workers here at 44. Pretty hefty worker count, and I like how seriously he's taking this. He's throwing down even a Spine Crawler. Oh boy. 5 gates Glaive Adept is pretty committed, to be honest. LeoRusher is looking to try and snowball and deal some economic damage, but roaches are already on the way. GogojOey is so prepared for this. My god. I don't really know if LeoRusher can really pull this off. We'll see. It's all going to be about the positioning and the control. Is GogojOey going to be in position in time? We do see the Adepts laying siege upon that Spine Crawler. There's just enough energy for 1 transfuse. Spine Crawler does survive. Plenty of Lings to chase the shades as well. And we cannot commit. Looks like LeoRusher has realized that GogojOey is more than ready for this, and he will back off. Doesn't want to commit. And we're going to transition. We still don't have a 3rd Nexus. We totally could throw one down, but LeoRusher is going to be prioritizing his Robo instead. We have we have a Bay on the way, and we have an Immortal being produced as well. So it looks like LeoRusher wants to commit here on 2 bases, at least for now. He does have enough resources to go for that 3rd if he wants to, but he throws down a Forge instead. Oh my god. There it is. The 3rd base should be taken soon. We have plenty of Adepts back at home to defend and hold on to it. The downside here is the fact that, unfortunately, LeoRusher he still hasn't thrown down that 3rd. He's going to be delayed even further. The Roach Ravager has arrived. The Lings as well. He wants to try to bait a fight out here out in the open. He does catch a bunch of these Adepts. Oh, no shield battery at the natural base. LeoRusher is not ready for a fight. Does back off for now. See in the chat, massive shout to see Grail in the chat. Thank you so much for the bits. Is Eric playing tonight? The answer is yes. Will we cast him? Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that we're able to cast him later on in the semifinals. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket and see all the players for yourself, as we're still here in our first matchup of the day. GogojOey being even more annoying here with the Overlord, dropping creep here on the 3rd. Will recede, but again, very annoying. Meanwhile, LeoRusher rushing into those Colossi. Extend Thermal Lance as well. is going to be confirmed by GogojOey. Back at home, he's going to be taking his 4th base, going to be saturating, droning up around 60 to 66 workers, to 66 even. And yeah, GogojOey has had a lot of freedom. He's had so much breathing room here this game because of the Glaive Adepts not really doing much of anything. Really, the Glaives set LeoRusher behind. And give us a couple of seconds, give us a couple of moments, because GogojOey is about to max out. He's rushing across the map. We do have 2 shield batteries on the way. Sorry, 1 shield battery, a cannon, and a 2nd shield battery. We have 2 Colossi as well. So this position is looking pretty heavily fortified. But GogojOey just has sheer numbers. He does send a spotterling up the ramp. He does spot the army. He's going to be trying to set up us around. And the LeoRusher has no idea. Finally, he does get eyes on those lings. He does pull back for the time being. He does have an overcharge available and the high ground. But here we go, GogojOey. He does come in from behind. He's trying to set up a surround. The lings are trying to bust into the natural base as well. Roach Ravager coming in from both angles. We do have the overcharge. But I don't think it's going to be enough. The Biles will connect. The shield battery goes down. We do have some nice hot micro from that Prism, keeping the Colossi alive just a little bit longer. And with this warping of Stalkers, it looks like the Roach and Ravager army will be deflected. Oh boy, it was a pretty intense fight. Almost 30 Roaches went down, and what did we really get for our troubles? We got a handful of Stalkers, we got an Immortal, we got a Sentry. A really good trade there from LeoRusher, a really efficient trade, especially because of that overcharge. But GogojOey is about to remax, and he's about to do it again. And again. He's just going to keep going, keep pushing, and we haven't rebuilt the shield battery. Uh-oh. Here we go, GogojOey just diving on top of this army, trying to focus down at those Colossi, but again, nice control from LeoRusher, pulling them back in time. And as he saves the Colossi, the Stalkers are falling, but so many Roaches are being traded out here. GogojOey throwing away maybe a little bit too much this time. Looking at the battle report, 29 Roaches once again for 10 Stalkers. I mean, the Stalker kills it's nice, don't get me wrong, and GogojOey is getting ready for another push, but he doesn't have the best economy behind this. He's got to be careful. He's going to be rotating over towards the north, checking, confirming that there is no 4th base. The LeoRusher is still being contained here to 3 bases. Colossus count is getting higher. We're up to 4 Colossi now. And GogojOey has to respect this. We need to see an infestation, but we need to see a hive. God, disruptors are now on the way as well. Nice splits though. Oh my god, the disruptor gets no damage. The Roach Ravager pushing on forward, but again, we're just losing far too many Roaches. GogojOey throwing away so much. There's the infestation pit that we were talking about, but at this point it's too late. LeoRusher is going for a massive counterattack. There we go. He does force a cancel on the 5th base. GogojOey going to be forced to expand here towards the south instead. And honestly, LeoRusher can keep pushing, and I don't think GogojOey can stop him. God, the Colossi count is just too damn high. Colossi, the Stalkers as well. GogojOey trying to remax. Oh. Does connect with a couple of those Biles. Slow down the army. And we even see a bit of a surround being set up as well, but is this going to really work out for Eric? For GogojOey? I was looking at the chat. Biles will be connecting. The Colossi are finally going down. The Roaches are getting on top of them one after the other. The surround was exactly what GogojOey needed. And finally, GogojOey takes the fight. Finally, he kills not just 1 Colossi, but 3. And now LeoRusher is on the back foot. He was doing so well defensively, but as soon as he moved out, he did leave himself vulnerable. Now 1 Colossi doing what he can. Oh god, but everything else is falling. The shield battery is going to be going down. Stalkers as well. And GogojOey has finally broken through and finally broken the 3rd base. trying to warp in a couple of stalkers. We have a disruptor on the way as well. Oh, show us that over. Up. Oh, it does get 2 Ravagers. And we're blinking our hearts out right now. We're trying to go for another warp in, but 22 probes have gone down. The 3rd base as well. There is no 4th Nexus. And GogojOey has too much. Oh, LeoRusher saves a handful of stalkers in the end. Again, just flexing his micro a little bit. We saw his pick up control earlier with the Colossi. It was pretty good. It was pretty damn good, not gonna lie. But the wall is not a wall. GG gets called, and GogojOey takes the first series. GG, well played. Whew. And the Joey himself jumps his way forward to victory here and moves on to the quarterfinals. Massive shout out to LeoRusher though for his performance here. It was not an easy 2-0 despite what it looks like on paper. GogojOey was throwing away a lot of units there at that 3rd base. Like, LeoRusher was trading more efficiently. He was getting back into the game. Again, that counterattack is where he did slip up. Likewise, in game number 1, it was the Ling run-bys that really did cripple the economy of LeoRusher and force him all in. So, yeah, just a couple of things here and there that did kind of cause things to go GogojOey's way. But, you know, nonetheless, a good performance here by LeoRusher. And congratulations to GogojOey as he does move on to the semifinals. I will be messaging.